This is the Kibera slum that's home to over 400,000 people living in just 3 square miles. Most homes have dirt floors and are no larger than an average walk-in closet. Things like plumbing and electricity are luxuries, and there are less than 80 bathrooms for the entire slum to share.
Just imagine your bathroom being used by 100 people every single day.
4 years ago, this was one of the most dangerous places in the world. Murder, gangs, drugs, and theft ruled the streets. The water was infected with parasites and disease, and people were drinking their own sewage. But recently, there has been a complete 180 and everything changed. We're here to find out exactly what happened and how it's about to happen again to a neighboring slum.
Right on the other side of this wall, Wealthy.
Wealthy.
Just feet away.
Exactly.
In November 2022, halfway through the 4-year project, I was invited to see what was happening to change the slum. Kibera is on government land, but the residents govern themselves, creating a city within a city largely forgotten. An organization called the Bucket Ministry has been transformative here, providing clean water to every home, kickstarting an incredible domino effect of change. Their success in Kibera has them moving to a much larger slum called Karangware. But I still have a lot of questions, like, what is life in a slum really like, and how do you get permanent clean water to almost 500,000 people in just 4 years? So I went back to Kibera, the original slum, to get all the answers from my guide Derek, who's been working with the Bucket Ministry to make all the changes.
What would you say the water situation is? I mean, tell me about this water here. Is this the water that people are drinking? Is this the water that is just raw sewage and just garbage? Because there's no garbage here, correct? The garbage just gets thrown.
There's no.
Okay, so where are people getting their water from?
This is heartbreaking to tell you. But yes, we have water pipes, but as you know, you can't guarantee when water is coming. You'll be pretty much shocked that some days when people are pushed to the wall, they will have to find pockets of some of this water to take home to either do laundry. But we who have been around here, we know what this water contains, because it's sewage, it's everything. When you look at somebody standing in, you start feeling sick because you don't know how much diseases is really scooping from there, because most of the toilets around Kibera, they don't have a major sewage system. So all its outlets, it's this source, it's this water. So it comes all over from the beginning of Kibera to the end. And when it rains like this, most people use it as a transporter for garbage. So you'll find people throwing garbage so that it starts flowing.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow. So that guy, he's obviously angry at us down there for being interviewing. What is he doing down there right now?
What he's doing is looking for scrap metals or scavenging for metals that he can sell as scrap for heating up and reusing. Yeah, you'll find multiple of those guys around because Kibera is a tough ground. You're really forced to do a lot of things so that you stay floating. That is one of the gigs that people do around. You get some magnetic passes because they believe that this water carries a lot of metals, small metals from all over.
We were at a different part of Kibera where there was like a brick road, almost like a walkway. Are there different areas of like this I've noticed is a little more dirty? Is there different levels even within Kibera of quality of life?
Yeah, definitely right. Because we have villages like Olympic, we have villages like Ayani that are a little bit different. The quality of life is different. But it's still the same. Somebody still lives in Kibera because they still use the same water. They still shop in the same shopping centers. So it's just a slight difference. But for people around Nairobi, they'll tell you that you still live in Kibera.
So one thing that I'm really curious about, it's like every house I go into, everyone has a cell phone. But the salary average per month is around $25
Yes.
US.
Yes.
I mean, the rent for an apartment is like $8, I was told. Is that correct?
Yes, probably, yes. Yeah, within that range.
How are they getting their cell phones? How are they paying for their cell phones?
Yeah, this might shock you that some people might have to work for 4 years to own a phone that can access internet. Apparently, right now, there are some initiatives that have come up whereby there are some companies that give these people phones on credit, whereby you have to pay probably $10 a month as you're paying for a phone. So just imagine somebody earns $25 or $26 per month, and you have to cut $10 to pay for your phone. It's quite fascinating.
Wow.
As I walked through Kibera, I couldn't help but notice how many twists and turns there are on all of the streets. People seem to be popping out of nowhere, and there were so many people. But one thing I never saw was a bathroom. With all those people, what happens to all the sewage?
Tell me about the bathroom situation here in Kibera. I haven't seen any bathrooms yet. Where do people do that, and what happens to it?
It is starting to improve, I can say, but still nobody owns a bathroom or a toilet. It's either communal, because we recently did an assessment and we found out there were 78 toilets all over the villages that we've worked in. So
78 total?
78 total. You might find a lot of people using one bathroom. They will have to rely on those designated ones that are communal, that everybody uses. Just imagine your bathroom or toilet being used by about 100 or 120 people every single day.
And there's no sewer?
There's no sewer, because sewer is just this. Because you find a bathroom, it's connected to the trenches, so it pours direct there. So that is how it's very dangerous when it comes to the bathroom and talking about the hygiene.
If I told you right now, I gotta go to the bathroom, what would be the plan?
I would love to look for those one of the 78 ones. Yes, because that is where I know you'll find a bathroom.
Well, what do these people do in those situations?
We used to have what people called flying toilets, whereby in the night, if somebody wants to go probably for a long call, he gets a bag and does his stuff, then ties the bag and throws the bag. That is where the term flying toilets came in.
Is there a hunger situation here in Kibera? Are people struggling to find food? What's the food situation like here?
I won't say it's a hungry situation, because food is there, but the limitation is can you be able to afford it? Because that is a problem we don't find around Nairobi. That is a problem that happens probably in the north of Kenya. But here, the only limitation is can you be able to afford that 1 kilogram of ugali flour. That is maize flour or corn flour. You can accompany it with everything like beans, rice. These people don't have much to bring in, so they can't afford what you could say a very good, nice meal. So yeah, it's just survival. Have you filled your stomach? Yes, because you will find out most people here live probably one meal a day if somebody is lucky.
I couldn't help but notice that I felt much safer this time. In the past, I was always worried about my backpack and the expensive camera equipment. It was obvious that there was a major difference between our first time coming here and now.
Okay, this is George. He's part of the security detail. How safe is Kibera overall, would you say?
Okay, let me say it's around 40%.
Okay.
40%.
So are we safe to be carrying my big camera around here and things like that?
You are safe, why not?
Especially with you.
Yeah.
What are people thinking when they're seeing us Americans walk through here? The Mzungus, the white guy.
What usually happened a long time ago, and I believe it still happens, these so-called briefcase organizations, they don't have an office, they don't have presence. So they used to come with cameras and taking pictures of these people and going, and they will never come back again. So when people see cameras, they definitely have an opinion on that.
Okay.
But me putting on a Bucket Ministry t-shirt and walking around, because they have seen us in these homes, I believe they say, okay, we know those people. That sets us apart, because they can't say that they have felt our presence in their homes.
So you being with me brings me credibility?
That definitely that, because they believe you're one of them, they are friends, because they know these filters come partly from friends from all over the world.
It's really difficult to understand how this all happened. On the surface, it seems very simple. Just give people clean water. But with 400,000 of them, it's pretty complicated. So basically, they spent countless hours speaking with village elders, churches, and community leaders to show them first that their water was unsafe, and second, how they can have clean water for themselves. But they also had to show them they weren't like any other NGO that had ever been there, and that they were going to see the project through. So they used hundreds of locals, some volunteer, many that are paid full-time salary, to go home to home, give them a water filter, show them how to use it, and then come back time and time again, making sure it's being used properly.
And this filter is very, very helpful for us and for you. So just use it very well, and after using it, make sure you backwash so that it can last for many years.
Thank you so much, and I'm very much happy of this bucket because nowadays we do not have such cases of stomach ache. So we thank you so much.
Got a chance to do some follow-ups and see what it's like to give somebody clean water who thought they had clean water but actually didn't have clean water because the filter was leaking and it was clogged at the same time. But that just shows how important it is to go back over and over again to be able to give them clean water the right way, because if she kept drinking it like that, that would have made her sick again. Just watching that dirty water go right into the cup that she thought was clean. So, and then with that little baby there, that's awesome.
During my visit, it was obvious the culture has changed. I wanted to know if the Clean Water Project was why.
Have you noticed since the Bucket Ministry has come through and done all the work that it's done, is there a change in the culture of, maybe crime and anything like that at all, violence? Has that been affected at all by the Bucket Ministry coming through?
Yeah, we believe for the years we spent here, we believe that we've had our mark on this community. We believe people have become much nicer, people have become more welcoming, and we believe, depending on solid testimonies that we get from village elders, you couldn't be able to walk around like we're walking around here. But now that is phasing out. Kibera is becoming more safer, because when you look at most of our lessons, we teach in homes. We're teaching people to love their neighbors, love visitors, which is pretty awesome to see that Kibera is changing, and we have a part in that.
Wow. I feel like I've noticed it too from just the past couple of years. 2 years ago, I felt like you were a little more concerned for our safety.
Yes.
Not that you're not concerned, but I feel like it's changed even since then.
I remember the first times we started working in Kibera, we were all skeptical of how we work. But right now, people seeing me putting on a Bucket Ministry t-shirt, all of these houses have seen either one of us in their homes, and we've shared probably a glass of water with these people. So we've become more like family and a part of this community for the 3 years that we've worked around here.
An independent study of 10,000 households that received water filters and wash training was done, and the results were astonishing. The most impressive was the amount of people no longer having diarrhea. Before the filters, about 53% of households reported diarrhea. After 70 days with filters, only about 2% reported diarrhea. The same type of results were found with other household health issues. Health problems overall dropped an incredible 40%. After hearing about the massive success they had in Kibera, I took a short cab to the Karangwari slum, where I met up with another local guide, Godson, who lives there and works for the Bucket Ministry. They just finished a several-month-long census and found that there are approximately 700,000 people to bring clean water to, 43% larger than Kibera.
Why did you move from Kibera to Karangwari? Why are you here? How long have you been here?
I've been here now for 2 years. The Bucket Ministry had a vision to start the Bucket Ministry in Karangwari. To make sure now I'm looking at the spiritual side, just praying for the project, encouraging people in the slum, talking to them, creating good relationship in preparation for the entry of the Bucket Ministry.
Now, you said that there's no toilets here, or are there a few?
Very few.
Very few.
Very few.
More than Kibera or less than Kibera?
In Karangwari, there are no community toilets,
right,
where people can pay and use. So they have very few toilets, and some people have to borrow from other places.
Wow.
Yeah, so this river, you can see every kind of dirt, and most people use whatever they dump in the river.
Okay.
Their waste and many other things. And you can see there are water pipes just passing through.
Yes.
So most of the residents actually drink dirty water, because when there's any leakage, then the sewer just goes through the water.
As we walked, I couldn't help but notice a wall that separates the slum from houses like ones you'd see in the U.S. I was amazed that only a few feet away were wealthy people with all the amenities of life.
This wall you are seeing, this wall is separating the slum from the estate. This is very expensive. Here, only you can find maybe ministers, government officers.
So right on the other side of this wall, wealthy.
Wealthy, damn wealthy.
Just feet away.
Exactly. And these guys get cheap labor from here. And that's how it is even all over Kenya.
Is it
Whenever
peaceful?
you find, they correlate. Whenever you find a wealthy place where there are rich people living, next to it is a slum.
What are they cooking?
They are cooking just normal meals for the residents around.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it might be a place to stop for lunch.
Yeah, to stop for lunch. So that's someone shifting. He's shifting from one house to another.
So it's moving.
That's a whole belonging of someone. The table is there, the mattress is there, the blanket is there. So that's a whole household.
As we continued to explore, I saw so many children playing outside, but they often used trash as toys. Like these kids, who created a game with a bucket and some rocks.
What are they doing with this here? Is this a game?
Yeah, they use this to play their own game. You know now, they can't afford these expensive gadgets. So they improvise.
Yeah, that's what my kids need to do.
Yes.
How do you play?
You take the ball, then you throw, then you fall down, then you start running.
Oh, she's got to roll a ball. It's like bowling. Oh! Gosh, that was like, that's a major league pitcher right there.
This area, if not for the relationship that we have made, you can't walk around with gadgets, even mobile phone or a camera. No.
And that just happened in the past few months.
Yeah. You see now, like when it rains, water enters people's houses.
Sure.
When it was overflowing now, the wall broke down. That's why you can see that house is no longer habitable. People have moved out. Life is so expensive. Now, they can't move out. Okay, they are willing to live like, you see, they want to live like their neighbors, but they can't afford it. So they decide to remain in that place.
Do you think that the work that was done in Kibera is just making it easier to work here?
Exactly. In fact, the work that was done in Kibera, it's like a stepping stone to this place. You enter a place, you are still explaining what we are doing as the bucket ministry. Then you find somebody who moved from Kibera and came in.
Right.
Like we found one just where we've done distribution today. And the guy said, I'm a beneficiary.
Did he have his bucket?
He had his bucket.
You're like, where'd you get the bucket?
It was very easy for him to tell the rest. You know, people are skeptic at times.
Yeah.
They don't believe what we are doing. Some of them, they don't believe. But now when they have someone.
He had a testimony.
Yeah, he's a testimony. And he told them, I'm a beneficiary. So we are looking up to January. We are highly expectant. I tell you, the place is so needy. It's so needy.
I can see it.
Yeah, so needy. They really need help.
But people are so lovely.
Yes.
They're so friendly.
Yes.
And it doesn't seem like they need much to be friendly.
They are so friendly. Even before coming in with the bucket, they have been so much willing. They receive us so well in their houses. We are doing assessment. They are willing to give us all the details. The work that was done in Kibera, in Kangware, it will be much more people benefiting from the filter. It's quite encouraging.
Pretty awesome.
Yes.
Wow.
As my day ended, I kept thinking about the excitement they all must feel since they started the second Clean Water Project, but are also feeling the weight of the responsibility they have in front of them. What new obstacles will they have to face? What new success stories will they have to tell? And what other slums are next? The Bucket Ministry is estimating that the Kawangware slum will be completed in just 4 years, even with its incredible size. If you'd like to help with this effort, a Sawyer water filter and bucket only costs $50 and will give a home clean water for an astonishing 20 years. But of course, any donation makes a difference. I've left a link in the description below.